What's up, Scoop Podcast? I'm your host, Erica Krupin, and on today's episode, we are going to talk about small business grants. I was doing some research on YouTube and I noticed that I had a lot of searches for small business grants. So, of course, I got to give the people what they want. So, if you are interested in hearing all about that, stay tuned. Thank you for coming back and hanging out with me. If you are new here, this is the crappiest podcast on the internet right now. So, lucky you for listening to it. I'm really excited. We are getting close. We are getting super close to my 52nd episode. I believe this is number 50 or 50. This is going to be 51. Oh my goodness. I set a goal a year ago that I wanted to produce 52 episodes in 52 weeks. And Mr. Producer has been helping me do this every step of the way. So thank you so much, Mr. Producer. I truly appreciate it. But what I want to do is I want to take a stroll down memory lane all the way back to 2018 when I decided I wanted to open up my pooper scooper business. When I did this, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't really have a plan. I just knew that I wanted to get the heck up out the pharmacy at the hospital. I knew I needed to do something different, but I just wasn't sure on what it was that I wanted to do. It's not like I had a bunch of money. I wasn't making a bunch of money at the hospital. I had around $1,000 that I could spend on this business. So the poop scooping business it was. And for those of you that don't know my story, basically my husband's last name is Krupin. When they were growing up, they would always him and his brothers would joke around about Krupin's poopin' scoopin', and nobody ever pulled the trigger. Well, I've known my husband ever since, goodness, we were probably 7 or 8 years old. We were young. I always liked him. I always had a crush on him. I thought he was just so adorable. And now I'm married to him, and he's still so freaking adorable. And all the things that he does, he's just so cute. Love that man. But I was like, hey, nobody has started that Krupin's poopin' scoopin' thing, right? Air quotes. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And Josh was very excited. He was like excited right from the get go. Like, yeah, go ahead. How are you gonna do it? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna do it. I went and got a DBA. After that, I went and got insurance. I got a business bank account. I filed for an EIN number. I did a lot of research online looking up how to start a business, what to do, and I spent hours and hours and hours, so many hours, figuring all of this stuff out because I didn't know anybody around me that knew how to do this. I didn't have the resources. I didn't know about the Chamber of Commerce. I didn't know about business associations online to go and look at. So I started the business with my $1,000. I put almost $500 into a hitch on the back of my 2007 Chevy Cobalt, and then I put a cargo trailer on the back of her, and then I just went ahead and purchased my supplies. And so I did. I started this business with under $1,000. And looking back on it, I think to myself, if I would have had more money, what could I have done? What could I have done differently? Well, I definitely could have had better marketing material. I could have had a better website. I could have had better shirts, right? I could have had better magnets on my vehicle or even wrapped a vehicle or purchased a scooping vehicle right off rip. Because I was using my personal car, my 2007 Chevy Cobalt, and it got the job done, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best look in all the land. So having some extra funding would have streamlined things a lot faster. But having said that, I learned a lot, slowly grew. And and I just think that if I could have gotten some grant money, things could have been a lot faster. So I'm not saying that I would go back if I would do things differently. I think the experiences that I went through has molded me into the business owner that I am right now. But for those of you that are looking to go all in, buy shirts or in bulk and have better marketing material and have better training and just maybe even have a coach, a business coach that can help you get off the ground running and move forward a lot faster than going through the slow process of business and trying to learn everything on your own to help you streamline that. Getting a grant, investing in yourself, investing in your business is the way to do it. Because I'm telling you what, if I were to get some grant money right now, the first thing I would do is I would find the best business coach that I could afford and tell them, I need for you to help me get my business to a 500,000 or $1 million. First step is a 500,000, next step is 1 million. And I want it done within, I don't know, let's say 12, 14, wait, 12, 24, 36 months within 3 years. I don't, something like that. So I would want it to be like, boom, let's get it. Let's get it now. That's exactly what I would spend my money on. And I'm sure this coach would have a whole list of things that I need to change, right? So, what I want to do is tell you what I learned about grants, tell you the information that I found. I'll let you know about the information that I've already known about. And the business plan that we've been working on, that is going to help you when you go to apply for a grant because they're going to want to see your business plan. So if you're not working on that and you're interested in getting a grant, you definitely need to start working on your business plan. For those of you that are watching the video, you see my mug. This is my mental health breakdown mug. We love her. We really do. And just a heads up, if my vibe's off lately, I'm having some blood pressure issues. My blood pressure is very low. I've been feeling extremely tired, lightheaded, nauseous, and I passed out. I've passed out a couple times getting up off the couch because I'm guessing my blood pressure is just dropping really low, and I'm struggling. I'm having a hard time right now. And I recorded this podcast yesterday and it was trash. It was absolute trash. I scrapped it. I said, no, thank you. No, ma'am, I can't put that garbage out. So we're retrying again. So if you are struggling and you're going through something and you're trying to do it and you're having a hard time with it at that moment, you might need to stop. Just like I stopped myself yesterday and said, I made so many mistakes in this podcast that if I even tried to go edit, it's going to take Mr. Producer a very long time to edit this, and the end product isn't going to be good. So we need to be self aware to know, let's stop what we're doing, get ourselves in a better headspace or a better physical space, and try again. But don't give up. That's one thing about me. I am persistent and I don't give up. I may pause. For a period of time, regroup, recalibrate, reformulate the plan, but I always start back up if it's something that I want to finish and I want to continue. So that's a little fun fact about me. And if you struggle with that, try it. Try it out and see how it goes. Okay? So let's get into this. I already touched about what I would use the money for. Now, what is a grant? For those of you that are unsure and you're like, well, I'm not really too sure what a grant is. A grant is essentially free money provided by an individual or organization for a specific purpose, okay? This money you do not have to pay back. A loan is what you have to pay back. A grant is different from a loan. The only way I believe you would have to pay a grant back is if you didn't use it for the purpose that you said you were going to have to use it for, and you would be in violation of the specifications of the grant, okay? It's like a financial gift, like I said, that you do not have to pay back. Now, what can grants be used for? Business growth and development. So, if you have been in business for a little bit and you're trying to figure out how to grow your business, like me, you would invest in a business coach, somebody that has a 6 or 7 figure business or a 6 figure business, whatever you're trying to get to, you would enlist their services and you'd pay them for their time so they can help you streamline to where you're trying to go. And that's exactly what I would spend my money on. You can spend it on marketing and promoting. Marketing materials are expensive and it costs money to upgrade. So you could upgrade your flyers, your business cards, your banners for vendor events, your vehicle wraps, yard signs, all of that kind of stuff. Upgrade your logo because maybe when you started you had some little crappy logo. You paid $25 for it and now you want to upgrade it to a more professional logo that costs money. It doesn't cost $50. It costs hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars, depending on the type of logo that's being made, right? You can also invest in new technology. So, say if you're a pen and paper gal, right, or sir, and you're writing everything down, or you're just putting it all in spreadsheets, and you don't have a CRM, you don't have a routing app, you don't have QuickBooks, you don't even have a website, right? Some people don't because the websites are expensive. You could use the grant to upgrade and get all of these systems. And what's cool is a lot of times if you buy them at a year at a time, you get a discounted rate. That's what I like to do after spring rush. I purchase all of my systems that can be purchased around June. Yeah, I want to say around May or June. That way, a lot of times I'm getting 20, 30, maybe even 40% off what the price is because I paid for the entire year. Okay? You could also use grant money for development in your training for your employees and for yourself, right? So if your employees are having some issues, I don't know, if maybe there's some sexual harassment issues, you could get a sexual harassment person to come in. Um, that this happened with somebody that I know. There was a group of guys. They all did tree work, and like a HR person came in, and they were talking about like sexual harassment. And so they were a bunch of clowns, and they were actually acting like a bunch of buffoons. And or I can tell that story later. But if you need something like that, or if you need safety, say how to handle an aggressive dog if a dog gets let out in a backyard. Bringing somebody in that's trained in that could teach your staff. There's a lot of different training. That's another topic for another podcast. You could also financial management, right? You could upgrade your accountant, get a better bookkeeper. Okay, because a lot of times when we start, we get who we can afford. Maybe our aunt, our friend's grandmama that's been doing taxes since 1982, things have changed. So you might be able to upgrade and get a better accountant and somebody that is more able to manage your finances and your funds and educate you along the process. You could also use the grant money for compliance or legal matters. I believe every company at a certain point should have a lawyer on deck, even if they're on retainer. If something happens, you could even use this to get a trademark for your logo for your business. Get forms such as contracts drawn up, right? Ones that are kind of generic for your business, and you can kind of customize it per customer. What else? Like terms of service, stuff like that. Stuff that is professionally done with professional verbiage and has been looked over by a legal professional to have those made up. Because it's hard. It's hard to kind of just do it on your own, especially if you don't know the legal stuff. And it's expensive to have a lawyer draw that stuff up, you know? You could also use this money to track the progress of how your business is going. And especially if you don't know how to do that, you might need to hire somebody like a data analysis or get training on how to track the data, to track your leads that are coming in, track where they're coming from, Facebook, Google, Instagram, referrals, yard signs. All of that takes time and money to track all of that data. So you could use a portion of that money to take care of that. Those are just a few. There's more options, but I just want to give you a couple right there and pepper those ones out. Now, who provides grants? There's many different associations or different avenues where you can obtain grants, but these are the three main ones: your federal government grants, your state and local grants, and then private organizations and or foundations can offer grants. Now, where are we going to find these bad boys? When you do some research online, it's hard because it's like there's so many websites, there's so many things that says get a grant, go to this website, click on it, and then ads pop up, and it's like what's legit, what's not legit. So what I have found is you want to first reach out to your local small business development center, and the acronym for it is SBDC. Enter. And then I would make sure that it was a legit website with a .gov or a .org, and make sure it's nothing spammy with a bunch of pop-ups, because you don't want to put in any information in there that isn't a legit website. If you can find a phone number on there, call them and have a conversation with them. You can also reach out to your local chamber of commerce. I didn't know this in the beginning, and I didn't invest a lot of time into it because I was spread too thin. But the chamber of commerce has so much and so many resources for small businesses. It's full of business owners, right? From all different levels. So, depending on where you live, if you have one in the city that you live, in the city you operate out of, I would definitely check that out, and they can guide you because these people have been in business a lot longer. And don't try to recreate the wheel, right? Learn from what you can, and success leaves clues. And then from there, you can venture off into other chamber of commerces, whatever, in the cities that you're trying to service regularly, so you can get within the community and get built up and know people and network and rub elbows and do all the things that you need to do to grow your business. So you definitely want to check them out. And then also your state's economic development center. Go to their website. They have a ton of resources. They even have people there that can help you put together a proposal for your grant. They can help you put together a business plan. They can set you up with somebody that could be a mentor for you. So you definitely want to take the time and check all this stuff out. And like I said, give them a call. If you can find a phone number to call them or go to the office, if it's local to you, do that. I feel like it's better than just submitting your information online. That's my personal opinion. But I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm a millennial. I gotta take a water break, you guys. I've been having the worst cotton mouth. I don't know why. That's what was going on yesterday. I couldn't even get my words out because I kept like mushing them together. Getting old is for the birds, you guys. I'm telling you. It's I mean, it's a blessing to be able to live to get older. I'm not that old. I'm only 36. I'm talking over here like I'm 97 years old. But I'm telling you, it's just a lot different. 36 hits different than 26. I will say that. Okay. Back to it, Erica. Refocus. How do you apply for a grant? Great question, you guys. You're going to want to start by identifying the grants that you align with. So if you are a male and you identify as a male, you probably shouldn't apply for a woman's grant. Okay. So look up the grants on the websites that I'm gonna link some stuff down in the description. So definitely go and check that stuff out. Check out those resources that I linked. Check out the grants that fall and align with your business goals and who you are. Okay, there's women grants for women. There's minority grants. There's grants for young entrepreneurs. There's tech grants. I could go on and on and on. There's grants on grants on grants on grants. So just find one that aligns with what you got going on. You definitely want to carefully read all the criteria, the deadlines, and the requirements. The fastest way for you to get declined for a grant is by missing a deadline or not doing it to completion. Like, come on, do what they say, okay? And then you're going to want to craft a very compelling proposal that explains your project and what you want to do with the money and how it's going to be used. And if you don't know how to do that, one of those resource centers that I talked about earlier can help you with this. And don't wait to the last minute. Give yourself plenty of time to fill this stuff out so you can make sure that you feel very comfortable and confident. And you're going to want to customize it to the specific grant that you're applying for. Like I'm sure we can put together just a standardized application for grants. But then you have to go in and you have to manipulate and change certain aspects of it to speak to that specific grant. And then when you submit the grant, submit it the way that the guidelines say, exactly to the T, to the point. Don't turn left, don't collect go. Don't collect $200 if you're not going to do it properly. Anybody that meets the qualifications for that grant, okay? Depending on the eligibility and what they're looking for, you can apply for it. It's open to individuals, small businesses, nonprofits, specific demographic groups. You just got to read the rules, read what they're looking for, okay? To meet the criteria that they put in place for you to apply in order for you to even get accepted or get awarded the grant. Now, some people are curious about like what's the difference between a grant and a loan. A grant is money you don't have to pay back. A loan is money that you have to pay back often with interest. We don't like that. We do not like that. Hold on a second. I gotta stretch. Oh, my back. I got a old lady back. See, even that is making me lightheaded. Something's not right with me, you guys. Something's not right. I've been telling my husband for the past 2 months something's not right. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna calm down with the drama. But yeah, I just got really lightheaded. All right, grants. The first thing I want to talk about is Jobber grants because we love Jobber over here. And Jobber offered $150,000 worth of grants at the beginning of this year, and there was 25 grant recipients. That is insane. And this is targeted for home service business owners and home service entrepreneurs. There's also a grant. Now, hold on a second. These are grants that I've known about and I've seen online. I've looked through the websites, looked at all of them. Okay, that's the reason why I'm talking about them. There's an Amber grant. This is a foundation awards a monthly grant and an annual grant to women-owned businesses. The grants are modest, but can be used for various business needs, which we love that. There's also a FedEx grant. This one is annually awarded to small businesses through a competitive contest. Winners will receive funding and business support services. Then we have the Minority Business Development Agency, which is an MB grant. This provides support to minority owned businesses, including access to grants and other resources. Then you got your state and local grants. Now, this is where your state, your local government is going to offer grants and incentives to small business owners because small businesses are the backbone of our communities. So the government needs to keep these businesses running and operating. They really didn't care too much about us back in 2020, and we're starting to see the effects of that. So it's really important. It's so important to keep our small businesses running and operating because this is how our communities grow. And there's this nonprofit called SCORE Grants. It's a nonprofit organization that offers mentoring to small business owners and occasionally offers grants to entrepreneurs and small business owners. Check it out. It's a good resource to check out for some support. And then also the Women's Business Center. These centers often provide grants and resources to women entrepreneurs. They're typically funded by the SBA. Now I know I have a lot of male listeners and viewers. But here's the thing, I'm a lady, right? And so I obviously am more invested into the woman's part of small business owner because I'm walking the walk, I'm talking the talk. So that's the reason of why I have a couple of those listed in here. So sorry, fellas, don't get offended. There's grants out there for you. I just don't know too much about them. And a question that I seen online, people wanted to know, do you need to have good credit to apply for a grant? No, no, you don't. You do need to have good credit to apply for a loan because a loan is going to have interest. You're going to have to pay it back. A grant is free. So, no, you won't need to have good credit. But if you don't have good credit, you need to work on that. Okay. You definitely have to work on it. You're also going to want to apply for a DUNS number, DUNS number. I'm going to read this straight from the paperwork. It says stands for Data Universal Numbering System, is a unique 9-digit identifier assigned to businesses and organizations by Dun and Bradstreet, D&B, a global business information company. The primary purpose of a DUNS number is to provide a standardized and global recognized way to identify and track your business and entity. To obtain a DUNS number, businesses can contact Dun and Bradstreet directly or visit the D&B website to initiate the application process. In some cases, a business may receive a DUNS number automatically when they apply for a credit or engage with federal institutions and vendors that report data to Dun and Bradstreet. I included a link down in the description. I did a search to see if I had a number because I had never applied for a number and I have a number. So it either happened when I applied for my gas card or when I opened my business bank account. I'm not really too sure. You can go to that website and you can look it up. This number is also good if you're trying to do grants that are global, international. This number is really good for it. And when you get this number, copy it and paste it and save it with your documentation with your articles of organization for your LLC, your identification number, your tax identification number, which is either called an EIN or a FIN, a federal identification number. I think those two are interchangeable. You want to save that number and then save your DUNS number. So if you ever need it, you can easily access it, especially for you people that are like, oh, I can't remember my password. I can't remember my username. I can't remember this. I can't remember that. Keep all of this stuff together. You guys, my dog busted out of her cage, made her way up the stairs, and was whining at my door. She had ACL surgery a week and a half ago, and she's just not okay with chilling. I don't even know how this is the second or third time she's gotten up the stairs. That's not the issue. It's her going down the stairs. Like if I weren't to answer the door and she would try to go down the stairs, like what would end up happening to her? I thought I had it blocked off good enough. Apparently I did not. This this dog is like, I love her like I love my husband, but holy smokes. Driving me nuts. Okay, where was I at? We were talking about the DUNS number. I think we already talked about that. That's done. A few things to set yourself up for success. You're going to want to make sure that that business plan that you're working on is complete, it's up to date, and it's compelling. Okay. You're also going to really want to work on your elevator pitch. What's your elevator pitch? It's a 15 to 30-second spiel about who you are, what you do, and who you service. Boom, 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 bam, pow. That way, if you hop on an elevator and for some reason somebody's like, "What's your business about?" You can rattle it off with powerful, impactful words, okay? You're also going to want to make sure that your bookkeeping is up to date. You want to make sure your financials are on point because these grant people may want to look at your financials, okay? You're also going to want to make sure that you're building up a community. You're nurturing your fans and the people that support you. Because sometimes the grants want to get the people involved, and they want them to vote on who's the best, right? Have a strong email list. Have a strong social media and make sure that they interact with you. I know that's hard to do, it's a lot, but it's important. It's important to have a strong community around you. And you're also going to want to understand what the grantors motives are. Like, what is the reasoning? What's the benefit? What are they trying to get out of it, right? They are giving the money for a reason. Why? So get to know that. You're going to want to follow those directions exactly. Read them, follow them to a T, and then you'll want to ask your mentor, somebody that's helping you with the grant process, your SCORE mentor, your business leader, whatever it is that you're using, to look over your proposal, proofread it, double check it, ask you questions because you want to make sure that it's good. If you're applying for grants and you feel like you're just not getting them, you're not getting them, and you're doing it on your own, then you might need to find a mentor. If you find a mentor and you're still not getting anything, you might need to find another mentor. Just keep going, okay? So you can get these grants. And then, like I said earlier, please do not wait until the last minute to apply for your grant. You cannot do that. You don't want it to be rushed, you don't want it to be sloppy. You want to feel confident about what you're submitting. All right. I hope that that helps. I hope you guys like this. I learned a lot of information while doing some research about this. What else is going on? You guys went to the Pooper Scooper convention. I love that. I checked out all of your guys' pictures and photos and was watching you guys online. It seems like you guys had a really, really good time. Fall's here, so definitely be posting your fall marketing material. You want to start getting together your winter marketing material. Usually you want to be a season ahead. So you should have had your stuff for fall already ready to rock and roll. And don't stop hitting the ground. Don't stop networking. Just because we're coming into the slower time of the season, don't just lay down and be ran over. You want to keep pushing forward, okay? A wheel in motion stays in motion. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. Drop the questions down in the comments. Do whatever you got to do. And until next time, bye.